Every so often, I go through a little routine. Once it's midnight and everything is quiet, I boot up DS1. I make a character, land in Firelink Shrine, and go to my favorite area. I don't typically pick the night class, but I'm too impatient to enjoy the clanking of my armor. It's a memorable part of the ambience. Lordran is a lonely world. Sometimes your footsteps keep you company. There's a lot that I love about Darkroot Garden, but before I gush about it, I'd like you to just listen and soak it in for a moment. There's nothing quite like it, really. It's warm and magical. If you come here from Andre's side, the forest will look like a simple collection of corridors, but it'll slowly start unveiling itself the more you explore. If you look around, you'll see the Moonlight Butterfly Bridge and a couple of shining corpses hinting at a sense of verticality to the area. The side path down to Darkroot Basin holds the area together. It lets you go to the unlit parish through the tower and beyond the door of Artorias. That path is one of my favorites to take. It presents a little adventure with obstacles of many kinds along the way. The most enjoyable playthrough I had with Dark Souls was thanks to this area. I started with the Hunter class, an odd choice that I made just for the novelty of it. In preparation, I brought some firebombs to kill the Hydra more easily. If you take the spot right here, you'll be safe. Sometimes. Then I freed Princess Dusk and got some utility sorceries. Hidden Body, Cast Light, and Oral Decoy go a long way in making the frustrating parts of the game easier, like the Tomb of the Giants or the Capra Demon fight. Not many people know of this. You can achieve a similar effect with the Ring of Fog as well if I'm not mistaken, but that's all the way in Sense Fortress. After acquiring the spells, I carefully navigated the path where Pharos the Huntress lurks. It's a surprisingly dangerous one with a dozen Ents ready to ambush you in groups. Hidden Body is extremely useful here. Sneaking past them, I joined the Forest Hunters Covenant and met up with Shiva in Blighttown for his special weapon collection. And for once in my life, I resisted the urge to buy the Demon Spear. All of this is possible thanks to the interconnectivity the basin provides. It was a memorable, rewarding journey that would have been taken away by fast travel. Going back up, I remember someone telling me that the view from here looks straight out of an old Castlevania game. And that is pretty true, just look at it. It reminds me of Curse of Darkness, which was my first 3D Castlevania game on the PS2. The cool thing about Darkroot Garden is how there's rewards for every build. There's armor, strong rings, a varied weapon pool, and 2 embers to upgrade them more effectively. I feel like that's not a thing anymore, but I digress. Not only can you find a lot of helpful gear here, but you can also find a story. The tale of Artorias, of his companion Sif, and of Alvina, the leader of the Forest Hunters. It has everything you can ask for in an area, even a hidden mini-boss. The comfort factor is just the cherry on top for me. It's the part of DS1 that I look forward to the most, along with all the little adventures it sets me on, like visiting the Covenant and its members, finding my way through all the hidden paths of the forest, and sneaking around the invisible bow huntress with the spells I got from Dusk. Going back to the main path, you'll be faced with a bunch of stone guardians. Their trick is that they'll use a spell to slow down all movement. If you have a shield, you'll be able to survive with some stamina management. Even blocking with your weapon helps a ton. But recently, I discovered you can jump attack away out of their vortex. I've never seen anyone do this before, so I felt like a genius. Next up is Moonlight Butterfly. When I started my series of no-hit boss fights back in 2020, Moonlight Butterfly was an unexpected wall. I just couldn't reliably dodge her beams even with the flip ring. Then I looked up how the Happy Hob did it, and he had the fat roll to go under her attacks. Little things like that make me nostalgic. Most bosses in DS1 had that one twist that made their fights unique and interesting. The gargoyle's tail can be chopped off, hitting Quailag's body makes her flinch, and so on. This carried over to Bloodborne, which I feel had an underrated boss roster. Yes, I know, these guys are not enjoyable for most people, but otherwise I thought the variety on display was memorable. The later entries feel homogenized, there's variety among them, but they ask the same thing from you. Whereas Demon Souls, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls try to keep things unique. In many ways, bosses were extensions of the levels themselves, and they made for memorable experiences. Thank you for sticking around.